Hi, this video will explain how to use The Golden Goblet, a story about ancient Egypt, with the accompanying language arts guide by English Off the Pages to teach your students in the area of reading comprehension, spelling, vocabulary, grammar, writing, and hands-on projects. Basically, it's going to cover all the language arts for 6th to 9th graders. English Off the Pages is a fairly new homeschool curriculum. It's written by a homeschool mom, and it uses classic literature as its anchor. Spelling and vocabulary come right out of the novel. Daily comprehension questions, grammar, and writing assignments are integrated, so the student is immersed in all the aspects of language arts. If you like literature-based learning, you'll love this curriculum. I'm going to show you what a typical day and week would look like using this literature guide. The first couple pages are just introduction. It goes over scope and sequence and tells you how to go through the program. Just briefly a little bit about the book. The third page tells you about the different sections that the student will be doing each day. There'll be comprehension questions, there'll be reading, there'll be vocabulary and spelling, what do you think questions, which are deeper thinking questions. There's going to be writing each day, and then there's hands-on projects the students can pick and choose from. Table of contents. Now here's the first day, and what's nice about this program is that the students are shown in a typical unit or week. It's labeled day 1. And it always starts with the reading and comprehension questions. It tells the students to look at the comprehension questions first, then go back and do their reading. And it actually tells them exactly how many pages to read in their novel for that day. And that's flexible. If your student wants to read ahead a little bit, that's not going to hurt anything. But we try to encourage them to read just a little bit every day, about 15 minutes, so that they're reading for comprehension and understanding and discernment instead of just reading to get through it. They've got their comprehension questions, which they should be answering in complete sentences. It tells them to go to the next day. Here are their what do you think questions, and these are discussion questions that we also recommend they pick one or more per unit as a writing starter. It says write one paragraph answer on a separate sheet of paper. So they've got a couple to choose from. The next exercise is their vocabulary exercise, where they're given their words in context in a sentence, and they have to figure out what they mean. There's always a word, a clue word, in the sentence that will help them to figure out what that word means. We encourage them not to use a dictionary because we're trying to get them to think about the words and how they're being used. Each unit they're given 12 to 15 vocabulary words. The next exercise is a spelling exercise. They use the words they were just introduced to previously in the vocabulary as their spelling words as well. And here they're asked to break them down into syllables. It's a different exercise for each day. Finally, they have a grammar exercise where they're using dictation. And what's nice is in the back of the book, there are teacher help resource sections that help you to learn about syllable breakdown, to learn about how to do dictations, etc. And then finally, they've got a writing exercise. Here they're asked to write a paragraph describing a scene using sight, smell, sound, touch, and taste, etc. They're using descriptive words. And then that's the end of day 1. The next day, the student would come back, and they're directed for day 2 to basically follow the same pattern, where they're told which pages to read in their novel, continuing on from yesterday, and then they're working on comprehension questions. They're doing those what do you think questions. They're doing a different vocabulary exercise today, a different spelling exercise today, all with the same words that they learned on day 1. and it's all listed out here, how to do it, grammar, writing. Here they're given a project as well. Day 3 continues on the same way, same pattern, where they're given the pages to read. In the back of the book, there's an answer key for the teacher. Also, there's the resource, the supplemental pages in the back. And in the front, on the second page of the study guide, there's a scope and sequence section that tells you what's going to be covered in the study guide itself. There's comprehension each unit, vocabulary and spelling. They're learning synonyms, definition, parts of speech for each word cover. Grammar topics include sentence structure, colon, quotation, coordinating conjunctions, and so on. Writing topics include basic paragraph construction, informative speeches, summarizing, similes, letter writing, and dialogue writing. The Golden Goblet is a great adventure story about ancient Egypt, lots of action, some great hands-on projects included in the Golden Goblet study guide. Our family really enjoyed it and had lots of good discussion involved with it. The guide itself is written from a Christian perspective, so there are some references to Bible verses, and some of the discussions are related to topics from the Bible. It's going to take about 7 to 9 weeks to get through, and it can be purchased at EnglishOffThePages.com for $21.95.